even small changes to these things we're talking about, you guys, they'll start really adding up. So start this stuff so it can start shifting things in your house. So here's some actions. Okay, this week.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Welcome back to our podcast. We're on a three-part series. Gosh, I think I need some coffee already this morning. A three-part series. We're on the third one. So if you haven't heard the first two, skip back and listen to them first because we're really talking about how to build a strong family in today's culture. And so today, strong families are not built on motivation. They're built on real systems. Would you agree with that, honey?
That's true. So if you rely on how you feel, your home is going to feel super inconsistent.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But when you build systems, everything starts stabilizing, kind of narrowing down what really matters most to you guys.
Yeah. So let's talk on this episode and put a bow on this topic. Let's talk about some framework, like a core framework of some of these systems that you can do that will create stability, that will lower anxiety, that will limit chaos in your life.
Yep.
Because without it, you probably will have a lot of that. And so first one, as we've discussed to an extent, is just clear standards.
Right.
Clear standards continuously being communicated. Like that's really important. One thing that we've learned about our kids is that, or really about any teams you're building, because we do a lot of team building development, is that just because you said something once doesn't mean somebody gets it. Right. In fact, just because you said it 3 or 4 or 5 times doesn't mean they even get it. I read somewhere one time, they say you usually have to hear something at least 7 times before it really sinks in and it becomes locked in. And so it can almost get a little bit annoying feeling like you have to over communicate some certain things, but that's why you have to choose what some of the standards are going to be in your household. So that way it becomes part of your consistent language.
Yeah, I would agree. And, 7 times maybe for an adult, but 7 times a day maybe for a kid because they don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't understand the reason behind it or why or anything like that.
This is such an important part of why we built the family placemat, though.
Yes.
And we do team meetings that are core values for us. Like we put a lot of effort in that, but we get it.
Right.
We do repeat them every week.
Right. And so if you haven't seen our placemats on our Instagram account, you can go in and see it's pinned. But we repeat it every week when we have our family meeting because we know how important it is to have clear standards and expectations. And we can discuss them with certain situation happening in that week.
Yeah. And just so you guys really should go to our Instagram page. It's Redwood Parenting. And one of the pinned ones at the top, right, has a picture of a laminated, literally family placemat. We put it down, we put our plates on it, our food that we got in it. And we go through in our team meeting and we have everybody say out loud what all of our things, our mission statement, core values, all that stuff. And it gives our kids a chance to not only say this stuff out loud, but then we also let them edify each other for doing these things. So it is continuously communicated.
Right. Clearly.
And so what's another one, hon?
Daily structure. I really believe we need consistency. And so routines matter. Whether it's what's going on Monday through Friday with school and work stuff and maybe sports and what the weekends look like. And again, making sure you're communicating it well. I mean, we really pride ourselves in making sure that our kids understand what to expect the next couple days at a time. You know what I mean? So that they know how they can support us and we can support them.
Yeah, I feel like we create a certain amount of rhythms based on the season we're in per year. It's like when it's a little different rhythm in the summer when we don't have school.
Right.
or we don't even have a sport for a month or two,
Right.
versus when we're in school season and we have every night at 3:00 on basically some kind of sports.
Truth.
You have to have like a little bit different rhythm, even of when everybody's gonna go to bed. When they're gonna wake up, when they're gonna be eating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I think a lot of this stuff just gets lost. We're not the family that's just going to grab McDonald's on the way home, kind of thing. Because one, we just know how much it messes with your system and your sleep and everything. It's not good for you. But number two, we want to have good, healthy, whole food, so that way, whenever everybody can perform optimally. And so, how do you do that? Well, now that's part of our systems. Certain people got to be making meals every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people would say, well, you're too strict, or, for us personally, our health is a very important part of our life. And for us, that means eating consistently at home as much as possible, because we just trust the foods that we have in our home. Not that we don't eat out sometimes, that's not the case, but we just prefer it. And so we do. It's a big part of us with 8 people in our family. All that, Greg was laughing the other day, I think it was, when we were looking at the food, and I'm like, there's no leftovers. Like, there are 8 people eating what we make. There is no leftovers in our house, so our meals they have to fill enough people.
It's so true. Most people don't even. It's hard to relate to.
Well,
sometimes.
and all of our kids are eaters because they're big sports people. Like,
Yeah,
they're not
so-
eating just twigs and berries.
Yeah, so they're eating. And like Drew's, he's growing like a weed, and so is Ellie, and
All
so
the girls, they're sports and everything.
Yeah,
It's
they
just,
burn a lot of calories every day.
So it's a big part of our
But
life.
yeah, like our house right now, some fun fact most people don't know is, of course, we have our normal kitchen fridge, but then we have 2 more full refrigerators in our garage that are basically full at any given time, right?
3 deep freezers
We
downstairs.
have 3 stand-up, large capacity, like the biggest you can get, deep freezers in our utility room downstairs. It's crazy.
Okay, but Greg thought he grew up with 3 boys and a sister, and you thought you guys went through a lot of food. Like, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. Good thing you didn't know what you didn't know.
I didn't know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like we're literally thinking about building a house, and we're going through some design plans right now, and we're like, where are we going to put all the refrigerators
And the deep freezers and the.
we have to have space for our deep freezers and all this stuff. And
It's so silly.
I keep going back and forth with this architect, and I'm like, no, I need more storage space. Like I gotta have more. And they're like, what are you talking about? It's already got a ton. I'm like, you don't understand. You just don't understand. So, okay. So clear standards,
Yeah.
daily structure.
Yep.
Number 3 is consistent discipline.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? How would you describe that, hon?
Every action has a response. So again, I tell the kids all the time, we just want to make sure that the expectations are clear on, if you do not behave in the standard of our house, these are the repercussions, and I think you need to make it so clear, but then be consistent with doing it. We talked about a lot of times when the kids were young, that, for instance, you don't get to tell me no at our house and be defiant. Well, if you do at a young age, there's going to be consequences. Okay. So as you grow up, there's consequences, being consistent and making sure they understand the standards. There's going to be a response for me if you do not behave in the way of the standards of our home. And so, but they have to be clear expectations again.
They do. They have to be clear.
And that way, when they do get, a strong discussion, and there might be some ramifications, or maybe things taken away or privileges taken away, they understand that they had the choice.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
They had the choice.
It's when it's clearly defined, then it puts responsibility on them.
Yes.
And if it's not clearly defined, it's like they just do something. You're like, well, now this happens. Then they can almost paint you as the bad guy.
Yep.
Right? Or there can be some animosity that gets built up there. Or why are you being harsh on me? Or why would you do that? Or wait, you're going to take this away from me because I'm, whatever. It's like, no, you got to choose. This is how this works. So I don't know. Maybe it's like.
Well, a perfect example is if you don't get your homework stuff done when you're supposed to. There isn't time in the evening for movie time, screen time, or any hangout time like that. You're going to then have to go do your homework.
That's right. So you'll go do your sport, and then you're going to come home, and you're going to do more homework.
That's right. So that was a choice of yours. You had time to get up and do it. But if you messed around and played with your siblings and didn't do what mom and dad asked of you, the repercussions are you're not having fun at the end of the night too. Like we don't just, ignore
Yeah.
and try it again the next day.
Yeah. It's like, I remember if you don't have your breakfast eaten and cleaned up by whatever time it was, like 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
when you have to start homework, then you just, like the cutoff time's done. So
Yeah.
you're going to wait until lunch.
And that's just it.
And it's just going to be okay.
And that's just the way. If not, get up. And some kids need more time in the morning. I might have a thing where I say, hey, everyone has to be up by 8:30, upstairs by 8:30. Well, I mean, Drew's can get up at 8:25 and be up by 8:30, and he brushed his teeth, went to the bathroom. He's upstairs,
Yeah.
Jimmy. But the girls seem to take an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, us boys need about 4 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But if then you get up at 7 if that's what you need to be up by 8:30. You do you. But just be up by 8:30.
Yeah. And like things for Jerus that have gotten him because he's just,
All boy.
he's all boy.
He's all boy.
And a lot of times, say I'm out in the garage playing the golf simulator. Maybe I even have a sporting game going on, but he has things he's supposed to do. And so he can be walking by and get distracted by both of those things and then almost forget what he's supposed to do. And then the things he was supposed to do before he can come out and play and do that stuff with me didn't get done. And so if that happens, what does he get typically?
Typically, he gets no golf simulator.
That's right. It's like, okay, you just showed you can't manage yourself to do this in the proper order. So we'll remove the thing that's distracting you for a window of time.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, he's 14, so this is not like I'm expecting this of a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, he's a 14-year-old boy who's going to be 15 before I know it. So,
and I feel really good about this standard because this is preparing him for real life.
yes.
You don't get to just do what you feel like doing anytime you feel like doing it. And then the stuff that you're supposed to, that's how you get fired from things. You know what I mean? So we're trying to build this kind of stuff in. So okay, it's clear standards. It's daily structure, consistent discipline. What's another one?
Intentional connection,
What does that mean? What's it mean
for me,
for
it's
intentional connection?
Yeah, for me, that means, of course, everybody loves the fun-loving days and the, give a hug as you walk by, a quick how's this going. But for me, it's really slowing down and walking in and having one-on-one conversations with the kids on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like I said, Abby and I are going to go take a walk in a little bit. She really is asking for some time. So I'm going to intentionally look at my calendar.
Better wear your snowmobile suit today.
I know.
Chilly out there.
Intentionally look at my calendar. Time with her is very important, not to blow it off, and have a good 30 minutes where it doesn't have to be 3 hours, but it needs to be enough time that her and I can connect, or I'm going to do something with Chrissy. I mean, maybe it's just, run an errand with her.
Yeah.
And this stuff doesn't need to be
Right.
heavy. Sometimes it's as simply as like, hey, I'm going to be in my office for a little bit. I'm working on some stuff, but in the background, if you want to sit around and talk to me.
Yeah, it's like I drove the older 3 kids to their tennis match. And so we had like a 40-minute drive there and a 40-minute drive home, and we were decompressing the whole time. And, it was really intentionally connecting.
Versus maybe you putting your earbuds in and listening to music on the way home or a book or a podcast on the way home. By nature, you might want to do that.
That's right.
You might want to just like, I've been with the girls for 3 hours watching them play. I need a minute. But then it's like, what? I'm just going to take this extra 45 minutes on the way home and have a conversation with my girls.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's intentional.
And I have to push the conversation because they get very giggly after they've just played.
Especially if they did well.
It's fun. I mean, it's really fun though. But
Greg grew up, well, his sister was very older and almost moved out by the time you
10
kind of
years
remember.
older.
Like when, she moved out like 18 or 19 and got married. So it was Greg and his brothers. And so you don't know girl talk.
I do now.
Yeah. Before you had 5 girls, you didn't know girl talk. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Golly, do I know girl talk? Yes.
Yes. And you thought your wife was a big talker.
That's actually true. You are
I don't
very
have
quiet
space
compared
for
to
it.
that.
I can't get a word in.
That's so funny. Okay. So, all right. So, even small changes to these things we're talking about, you guys, they'll start really adding up. So start this stuff so it can start shifting things in your house. So here's some actions. Okay. This week, why don't you, we always like doing numbers because I feel like it focuses you in on actually taking some action. So it's like instead of just saying, just start setting some household rules. How about you set 3 and maybe more, but do 3 a minimum. Set some household rules, get an agreement on them. Maybe create some kind of daily structure point some people are big fans of let's have dinner together. That doesn't work in our household just because we're always at a sporting event or we're going different directions. And so we will set ourselves up to be disappointed in missing it too often. But a lot of times for us, it's kind of like in the evening, a little bit later on, maybe even just half hour before they go to bed, we have a really good, connection point or whatever it might be. And then just challenge yourself to follow through for at least 7 days, at least 7 days. So anyways, what can they do if they want some help building this into their home?
Yeah. We've, excuse me, if you want help building this into your household, we've already mapped it out for you guys. It's called our Strong Family Blueprint, and we want to make it available to you. So if you could just write family in the message or comment it in any of our social media, wherever you find us, we will get that to you because it has really helped us be able to really map out and continue connecting with our family.
Yep. Okay. Well, great series, honey. Well done. Love you.
Love you.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.